Good evening. My name is Ugwoegbu Moses. I'm making a presentation today on the topic construction and demolition waste for sustainable building and resource efficiency. In this topic today, the presentation overview are as follows: sustainability challenges in construction, types of construction waste, environmental impacts, linear versus circular economy principles, Canadian construction and demolition waste data, Canadian policies and practices, future of sustainable construction. Here we have to look at the global sustainability challenge. The human activity is exceeding Earth's ecological limits for sure, and the ecosystems are reaching their carrying capacity. The environmental and the social and economic impacts are increasing, and the traditional linear economic model is unsustainable. This linear model has to do with the method that has to do with extract, produce, use, and dispose, while the circular economy has to do with reducing material use, reusing materials, recycling waste, and extending building life cycles. When you come to the construction sector and waste generation, rapid growth in construction worldwide has led to this significant increase in construction waste. And the waste are generated during construction, renovation, and demolition. And they're also generated during quarry and extraction processing. The construction and demolition waste. This includes waste generated from new building construction, renovation and rehabilitation, building repair operations, building demolition, and material extraction and processing. When you look at the data from Canada, Canada generates roughly 4 million tons of CRD waste annually. About 20% is recycled and reused. Around 80% still goes to landfill, and improving waste diversion is a major sustainability priority for Canada. Wastes can be classified into three, especially the demolition and construction waste. They can be classified as hazardous waste, non-hazardous waste, and inert waste. And each of these categories requires specific management practices. For the hazardous waste in construction, the characteristics, how we know that these wastes are hazardous, is because they are toxic substances and they are usually flammable materials. Some of them have carcinogenic properties, and some are corrosive and environmentally harmful substances. These are some of the examples of hazardous construction waste: asbestos, tar, creosote-treated wood, fiber cement, insulating materials. By volume, you have wood. Wood has a percentage of 24%, while cardboard has a percentage of 38%, drywall 11%, masonry 1%, metals 4%, others 22%. Asbestos in construction. This was widely used in 20th century and has a highly fire resistance and is an excellent thermal insulation, and previously considered a miracle material, now known to be hazardous. Let's look at the health effects of asbestos. Exposure can cause asbestosis, lung cancer, mesothelioma, severe respiratory disease, and asbestos is really regulated in Canada. Now let's look at the non-hazardous waste. These are some of the examples: are metals, wood, plastic, paper, and cardboard, and many of these materials can be recycled. Looking at the inert waste, these are bricks, tiles, mortar, concrete. They are often reused in road base or construction. Looking at the environmental impacts, this is very important. The improper waste management causes soil contamination, groundwater pollution, landscape degradation, increased landfill volumes, and loss of valuable materials. And now, using Quebec as a case study, construction waste in Quebec, the recycling facilities processed about 1.34 million tons in 2021. And these are approximately 70% of construction industry waste handled by facilities, and this demonstrates progress in recycling and recovery. Now, the Canadian waste diversion policy. The government sustainability targets federal government projects aim to divert at least 90% of construction waste, and the long-term goal of near total diversion by 2030 and increased reporting and accountability. When you look at this data here, between 2019 to 2020 up to 2023 to 2024, we have 62% waste diversion. What is the future of sustainable construction? The future of sustainable construction has to do with adoption of circular economy principles, increased reuse and recycling of materials, use of environmentally friendly materials, prefabrication, and efficient construction techniques. And the goal is to minimize waste and maximize resource efficiency. Here are my references.